Welcome to Cockatoo Rugby. My name is Owen Davis. Each episode we speak with someone involved with their local gay and inclusive rugby team. On today's episode we're speaking with Mitch Canning, one of the coaches at the Melbourne Chargers. Mitch, how long have you been involved with the Melbourne Chargers and how did you get started?
Thanks, Alan. So my first sort of training with the Chargers would have been in 2012. The reason I got involved, I'd been involved in rugby for quite a while. Passion behind the game had probably started to wane a little bit. One night I was down at the club on a Thursday and I sort of seen that the Chargers were training away in one of the corners and they didn't look like they had any coaching staff helping them out that night.
Yeah, right.
Went down the next training session and there was a chap, Sam Minter, who was the president at the time, and I asked him if I could come down and help coach. Started hanging around with him after that.
And the rest is history, as they say, Mitch. The Chargers are very lucky to have you. Why do you think IGR and gay and inclusive rugby teams are so important to have for the community around the world?
I think it's two things really, and those two things are mutually beneficial to my mind, to the gay community, but also to the rugby community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what happens through this vehicle of playing the sport is people get tested, both physically and mentally, and they get asked to step forward and to show a bit of courage because you put yourself at risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the motivation behind that is to be good at what you do, to put your body on the line for your team and for the people around you. And through this sort of process of playing rugby, I just watched all these guys find an inner strength, you know, because the game becomes then a metaphor. You go to Bingham and survive 6 games of rugby in 3 days, and then you get challenged outside of that, you know, for who you are, and you're stronger in yourself. You stop sort of questioning whether your value is the same as someone else's, and you actually start kind of elevating yourself in your own mind. For the guys that have come in and got involved in rugby, you know, it probably started learning a game and it turned into learning a whole bunch about themselves.
So true.
The Chargers keep it really fresh. Guys in their mid-20s or even late 30s, and you know, sometimes guys in their 50s who are turning up to a team sport for the first time. They're going through a process of learning the game, but also, you know, becoming kind of stronger people than themselves and working out that in team sports, it's really this expression of selflessness. And, you know, watching people go through that transformation and things is what's kept the game really kind of fresh and exciting.
I agree. Mitch, in 2016, you and the Melbourne Chargers won the Bingham Cup, the pinnacle of gay rugby, the World Cup of gay rugby. Only 4 teams worldwide have done that, so an amazing achievement. Have you got any other highlights or funny stories to share?
For me, I think it's a collection of things. So the Chargers at one point had pretty much lost every game by 100 points and they hadn't scored a try, and in a game on a Saturday in a regular competition, and it was 87-0, and right at the end of the game we scored this try. Jamie across the line, his mum was on the sideline and she was so excited, and then all of us were so excited, and the team was just went into pandemonium, and just the look on the opposition's face when they'd won this game 87-5.
So good.
They were looking over at a group of guys that were just celebrating. It's a pretty good experience to be a part of. And yeah, I said it, like I said, it's been some pretty different things. Like my process at half time is to ask players questions. You know? What are you seeing out there? What's happening? And in the very first sort of Chargers game, I went on at half time and I said, all right, guys, we've gone through the first half. What are you seeing? Like, for example, what are you seeing in the line out? And the first answer was, number 5's quite cute. And then someone was like, 12's actually really cute as well. And I was like, bring it back.
Oh, God, so good. Mitch, now, if there's someone listening and they're thinking about joining their local gay and inclusive rugby team, but they're unsure, what would you say to them?
Well, I think that if they join in any one of the gay and inclusive teams around the globe, what they're going to find is this immediate level of acceptance.
Yeah.
No one really cares, you know, whether you played for 5 years or whether it's your first game. Mm-hmm. And then you drop into an environment where it really gives you an opportunity to develop. So I think, you know, whether you're gay or straight, when you're an adult and you want to get out there and have a crack at the game yourself, it's almost the perfect incubator to actually step in and develop those skills.
Mitch, I could speak to you for hours, but that is all the time we have for today. So thank you very much, Mitch Canning from the Melbourne Chargers, for joining us today on Cockatoo Rugby.
Thanks, Owen. I enjoyed the chat.
My name is Owen Davis. You've been listening to Cockatoo Rugby.